I did.
Yeah.
You did.
What about now?
Better.
Okay. All right. Let's see where we are. I think with all this stuff going on, all my resources are getting used up.
I think we're
There,
streaming live on Facebook now.
there we go.
What's
Yep. Yep.
up? We live, y'all.
By the way, I got a message from a friend of all of ours, Mr. Courtney Barron, that says he wants us all to look like we're awake. I said, we're into it, man. He's like, man, you guys got to look like you awake, like you into it. I'm like, all right, we're into it, man.
It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, son.
That's right. He's a photographer. You know, it's all about looks.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, everybody. Take Six is live right now. We got a very special guest on our very last Spread Love 2020 challenge. We got Jay Browne in the house.
What's
He just
up?
Hey,
Hey,
What's
Jay.
up?
actually happening.
That's right, man. Welcome.
Now, let me just say this. So, when we first put the challenge up, Jay got his to us right away. And then we all heard it, we loved it, and then for whatever reason, we started featuring all these other ones, and I was like, wait a minute, we got to get to Jay. And we kept saying that, and it never happened until right now. So we're so happy to have you, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Well, he immediately put the bar so high that it was like, all right, who else can jump up here? And then every week was like, we'll see if anybody can jump up here. You brought it, bro.
Exactly. Well, the thing is that you were the first one with that kind of smooth, laid back remix. All of a sudden, everybody started biting you.
Oh, really?
They tried.
So
They tried, and they were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, we just got distracted, and so we apologize for that. But here you are. We appreciate you joining us.
oh man, like I listened to quite a few of them, and I was like, man, some of these people, they made me sound like I need to like really learn how to sing and like add like multiple tracks. Because just using samples, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But man, these people actually playing instruments, singing.
But
so
yours was cool because you used like 3 or 4 chords, and the thing just grooved so heavy. It was like, maybe we sing too many chords in this group. Why don't we just do what Jay did? Right? It was so funky. Like, you don't need all that.
And it was for real, straight up skating rink music.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I grew up in the skating rink, and so those kind of remixes are what we're used to because we sample a lot of James Brown, and we just use 2 or 3 samples, and that's it. So when I heard "Spread Love" and you gave me the stems,
oh, dude,
okay, let me use Alvin, let me mix his with the group, and use that, sample that, and add a drum.
You were basically the only person that used me, so bless you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
It went away.
So why don't you walk us through the whole process of when you first came around to checking out the Spread Love Challenge, and then creating your remix, and then actually doing the video?
So I think I either seen Claude post it, and it was like an hour before I was able to get home and download the stems. So when I downloaded the stems, I instantly, where is it? I grabbed this right here, and I started to. And after about 3 or 4 hours, I sent, I think I sent Claude just the audio. But then I decided to add like a visual to it. You know, let me add somebody that's actually skating, like doing something real crazy to it. And then added you guys singing in the background. And I'm like, this is perfect. So that whole process probably took only about 9-10 hours.
Okay. All right, yeah. Man, that's what's up.
Where did you find the skating footage?
YouTube. So I just I was on YouTube, typed in big wheel skating, and I had to go through a few videos. Then I saw this guy. He was skating a lot slower, so I had to speed up this video.
Find the tempo.
Yeah,
right.
I had to speed up his video to match the tempo of Spread Love. So that was the first for me, actually, like mixing a video to actual
Okay, so
audio.
it was a first. How did
Yeah.
you know how to do it though?
Yeah.
What process did you take?
It's the same process as being a DJ. You know, blending two songs together. Just got to make sure that it's always on the one. And so I use that same process with the video, and it turned out amazing.
I love
Fuck
that.
yeah, man. It's killer.
I love
It
that.
was killer.
So take us back. When did you become a Take Six fan? What was that for you?
Okay, I don't know. I think my mother was watching Women of Brewster Place, and I heard you guys doing the intro. And from there, she bought me a cassette tape that had, I think it was your first album that had Goldmine on it. And then from there, I just became a fan. And I definitely remember in '94, I bought Join the Band, and I played that backwards and forwards. And from there, it's just been, since the introduction of YouTube, just type in anything Take Six. So anything Take Six that's on YouTube, I probably seen it, know about it. and that put me on a lot more songs that I didn't know about
Nice.
from you guys. Yeah.
How old were you when you first heard us?
That was '89 when I first heard. So I was 7.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, and I can't forget Quincy Jones Back on the Block, because September, I play that at weddings. Every wedding that I do, I manage to play that and Windmills of Your Mind as like filler music before the ceremonies begin.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You got a lot of people online. You got some. You spread the word. I see. You got a lot of people shouting you out on the stream.
Really? Wow.
That's what's up.
Don't be saying really wow. See, the people know that Jay was on an hour early. I got a notification.
Hey,
I had to reach
yes,
out to
I
Jay.
was.
Like, hey, brother. Hey,
That's
hey,
right,
hey.
brother.
We're gonna get
That's
there, man.
right. That's right.
I wasn't gonna miss this for anything.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where's
He's waiting
home?
in the room by himself.
Where's home, PJ?
Huh? Oh,
Where's
Chicago.
home?
Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. 312.
Yeah. The last time I seen you guys perform live here was the Gospel Fest that was not too far from my house. And I actually went out there at like 7 a.m. just so I wouldn't miss you guys do sound check.
Oh, there's a theme.
Wow.
Stay around.
He been doing an hour early for a long time.
Hour early ain't nothing.
It's the first one up.
Yeah. And that was when you all came out with the one CD. You all were promoting that at the Gospel Fest. So
Right. Rami
That was
Man.
was it outdoors? Like
yeah, that was outdoors. That was 2012.
us, Mary, I think was there.
Five Blind
Yeah.
Boys.
Blind
Yeah.
Boy, yeah, that was a cool show, man.
Rami
Yeah, so
Man just
The
got
fact that you all did what was that? Shall We Gather at the River as a sound check. Finally getting to hear that live, I was like, wow, this is really happening.
That's cool. Man.
So
Yeah.
Let's not waste any time, man. Let's
Yeah,
get right
yeah.
to the remix.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do this.
Skate
Check it
Jam.
out. Here we go.
Beat man. Spread love. Spread love. More love is what we need.
Hey.
More love is what we need. Spread love. Spread love. More love is what we need. Spread love. Spread love. More love is what we need.
Son.
Man,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
could listen to that
Yeah.
all night.
That's a groove, man.
So I have to say this, Jay. That's my first time actually listening through my headphones. So anybody who listens to this again, listen through your headphones. That is banging. Son.
So you know what the weird thing is? Any song that I've ever made, I always use headphones. I never use like monitors. I always use headphones to make sure that I can hear everything.
But that's awesome.
what's up.
So
That's
tell
what's
them
up.
where they can find your channels on YouTube and everything else. I want them to be able to get it for themselves.
Okay, so my YouTube is DJ BMan81. Instagram is DJ BMan. Matter of fact, just DJ BMan for Facebook. Everything. But what I wanted to ask you all, a lot of people have been asking me for that. Like they wanted the actual song. So are you guys okay with me putting that on my SoundCloud and letting people download it from there?
That's a great
Who would me?
question.
I'm good.
But I'm not the writer of the song.
The funny thing is this, when I heard it, first of all, I have to say, Vince said, man, can't you arrange some stuff like that where we just chill in the background? And, so I said, you know what, that's an awesome idea. He killed that. And I can always hear somebody coming over the top of this and just doing whatever they want over it, rapping. It's just setting the groove up. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. So I can see why you want to put it out there because people want to get their hands on it and make it theirs. And hey, man, it's about spreading love as far as I'm concerned. So if Claude says yeah, then
Claude said yes.
He says no.
Claude said
Not to change the subject, but actually on another note, somebody in the feed was saying, was asking, was that sort of like a Chicago Steppers sort of influence on your remix?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that thing you were saying you learned that you always drop it on the one. Is that the Chicago style or is that just the remix DJ thing?
No, so it's just a tool from actually DJing. It's like you always drop in the next song on the one.
Okay.
And so whatever the guy was skating to, it was a slower song. So I had to speed it up and make sure that the one ended on the same one as the remix that I did. So no, that's not a Chicago thing. It's more so just blending two things together to make them look like one.
Just a method of lining it up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was trying to get to.
So I'm gonna jump in here. I think this was actually before we put out the challenge. You let us know because you showed a video of
Mm.
how they did the sample for her.
Yeah.
What made you? What hipped you to that? How did you know that that was that, and how to do it?
So, because me and Alvin are friends on Facebook, he mentioned that, and that made me go listen to the song, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's Come On to Me," and I know exactly where they got that from. So it was just a matter of me finding that sample and then doing whatever they did to it to making it sound like that song.
How long did it take you to line it up like that?
30 minutes
Yeah, huh?
or less. Yeah. But that's something that I've been doing for a while. So it's like more of an educational thing for me where I'll take an original song and then play the new song that everybody's used to hearing it. And they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know that they got that from here." So it's more so like an educational thing where I teach people where they got these samples from.
You're
Right.
about to be Exhibit A, Your Honor.
That's right.
Hey,
son. So what people are saying
Expert
in the
witness in the
thread,
house.
what people are saying in the thread is they didn't know that that was the her song. So it's the song could have been,
Mm-hmm.
and it's using our song "Coming to Me" as
Yeah.
almost the entire
Yeah.
sample. So we
And
just want
what's
everybody
funny
to know.
that many fans don't know that I didn't know. I've been in this 35 years. There are 40. What was it, Claude? You found when you looked at the thing, 47
46 songs, I think, or 48 songs.
that have sampled us over the years. That some of them we knew about, some of them we didn't. Most of them we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So that's how me for everybody that's watching, that's how me, Alvin, and Claude became kind of cool on social media, was through that video that I did of
Wow.
her.
well, thank you for that, brother. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
So I
No
kind of
problem.
want to go back to you said that, that's how you teach people to figure out where the remix came from, or are you teaching people how to actually do that?
No, so well, I did do a DJ class where that was like an element in the class, but what I'm known for on Instagram is how I'll take an original sample and then chop up the samples to make it sound like whoever remade it.
Mm.
Nice.
So like with that her song,
Hey.
so like with that her song, I took Come On to Me, slowed it down, and then brought in her version, and it was like, oh, that's where she got that from.
Mm.
Yes.
Perfect match.
Yes, that's exactly where she got it.
You were amazing when you did that too. That was absolutely amazing to see.
And you know what's crazy? Like when I saw Mark, I think Mark's wife came in and she said, "Did you do this?" And I'm like, "No, I was just showing you all where they got it from. I don't want no trouble at
I
all.
don't want no problems on today.
No.
No, we really appreciate that because again, it's like when you're the artist, you hear it immediately, but you don't know how they got it. You know, but when it was almost like as you were setting it up, you're like,
Yep.
and we were like, ah, it was really cool. So
So
Yeah.
we got a comment here in the thread that says, "I noticed that Omnisphere has your samples." Anybody know who Omnisphere is?
That's Vin.
Yeah.
yeah,
Vin's
that's a sampling company that I work with. That should be just me.
yeah,
Okay.
that's just you.
Never mind.
So I got a
It's
question,
us.
man. Like, so we all have been to weddings, man, or different parties, and the pressure for the DJ to keep the party going is quite intense sometimes, right? So what is your methodology of keeping people on the dance floor? Because one of the things that's funny to me is when you got one song after another, and they're like hitting. Then the DJ goes to this one song and everybody leaves the floor. Has that ever happened to you? And what do you do to correct
Or maybe
that?
that's planned.
Well, okay.
Keep the break.
Okay. Well, sometimes it's planned because sometimes people actually need to go to the bar, get a drink, get something, have a seat. Because I mean, you can't have people just up all night. But I have had times where I'll play a song and people will go sit down, but then it's just a matter of finding the right song to get them back up again.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Two
got
questions. Do you already know what that song is? Have you when like this is the song I'm bringing back on? Are you kind of sitting there finding the song? And then I have another question for you.
Usually I have something that might get everybody up. And I hate to say it, but it's always a slide that
I was
gets
about to
everybody
say,
up.
slide.
It's either the
Okay.
wobble slide, or the DJ quick. Well, these are line dances rather.
Right.
So that gets everybody up. And then you have like older folks, then you have younger folks. So you play things for the younger folks to get them happy, and then you play like dusties and steppers for the older folks, and then they'll be happy. But sometimes it's kind of hard to get both on the dance floor at the same time. But that's when the line dancers come in.
So you like sitting there literally directing traffic, like for the whole party. So here's another quirky question. You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
As a DJ, are you able to pretty much hear by ear a song and you could nail the beats per minute just from hearing it?
For the most part, yeah. And usually I'm right on with it.
Wow.
What's the perfect dance tempo?
The perfect dance tempo will be anything between 99 and 111 BPM.
Boogie.
Bam.
Boogie down production, son. It's a science.
So this is a whole new thing. So literally, you can determine the weather of that party by where you put these beats, or what songs you're playing, or you literally. I mean, I know that you're responsible for the party because you're the DJ, but literally, it almost implies that you're really at the steering wheel of people's moves. And
Yeah. So when I was younger, I was always taught to start here and then go up throughout the night. But the older I get, I realize that, sometimes it's okay if you do this.
Ride the way.
Yeah.
The next song we program is going to be at 111.
literally, you could send people to the hospital.
I would
I
110.
don't know what I'm
No,
doing.
Okay.
11.
Okay. So 110 would be so 110 is like I Want to Rock or Poison by Bellevue DeVoe.
Yeah, son.
Sweet, man.
Now
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah, Doc.
I got a question for you. This is kind of controversial, but do people trip when you play, or do you still play R. Kelly stuff?
So I'm glad you asked that question. I had a wedding 3 weeks ago, where the bride said, "I got to hear R. Kelly."
Right.
And so, because she's a big R. Kelly fan, so when I played it, you had people in the crowd that turned around and looked at me, and I'm like, "Hey, it's her day. Never mind what you all are hearing about. It's her day. If she wants to hear it, I'm gonna play it for her."
Right.
So yeah, but that was probably the only time that I've actually played R. Kelly. Because other than that, no.
Nah, I can't do it, Doc.
And even though he's from here, it's like, I don't want to ruin the party that much and make people feel uncomfortable.
That much.
I ain't got my check
Just
yet.
a little bit. Just a little
Exactly.
bit.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever bombed at a party ever?
Oh, plenty of times I've bombed, but that's what made me become better from learning from my mistakes. I try not to do it as much anymore. Like, I've had situations where my laptop will go out and then I'd have to hook up my phone some kind of way and play songs from off of there. So it's just a matter of being prepared for the worst situation.
Do you have a backup on your computer?
I have two laptops that I take with me.
I have a backup. I hear you.
2 laptops, 2 hard drives, two external hard drives as well. Now, can I ask you a question, Christian?
Yes, sir.
How did you learn Cedric's parts for every song?
First of all, I'm still trying to figure them out. You see Mark right there? True story. True story. First of all, man, so my birthday was like 2 weeks ago Tuesday. In in 2004, I got a letter from Cedric Dent on my birthday. It's actually the letter. I still have it downstairs. It's August 18th, 2004. Welcome to the family, such and such. But he also in that package included 2 CDs full of my parts, and I have to credit my dude Mark Kibble, because Mark flew me out to Nashville. I can't even remember. It seems like it was for like 2 weeks, but I don't think it was 2 weeks straight. But man, Mark flew me out to Nashville and drilled because my first show with the fellas was in Seoul, Korea, on a joint bill with Marcus Miller.
Okay.
So there was no room for error. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that was my first time out of the country. It's my first time on stage with the guys. So I drilled. And Mark gave what's called breakouts. And man, I spent weeks and weeks learning that stuff. And then we'll go to some place and like we went to Brazil, for instance. We had to do this television show. And there's a song, I can't remember the name of the song that
I'm on my way.
Dude,
was it I'm on my
dude,
way?
I was fumbling. Because I didn't rehearse that one. Dude, it was
And you started beatboxing.
Hey, that's my way out. That's my way out, dude. I'll be like 2K.
I'm telling you, man, like everything on YouTube, like I've seen it.
Bro, I sucked. But let me tell you my worst experience, since you brought that up. My worst experience actually has nothing to do with my baritone part. Has everything to do with Dave Thomas's part. My absolute worst. Detroit, Michigan.
That's right. You subbed for me one time.
Bro,
Oh, wow.
I had to sub for Dave Thomas. First of all, I have to give him mad credit because that dude sings so freaking high. It's ridiculous. I had to learn Dave's parts because I think it was your daughter graduating or something like that.
Exactly.
Habitat for Humanity, Detroit, Michigan. I think the group unanimously decided never to do that again. Ever. It was horrible.
But let me give Katie some credit, man, because Katie is probably one of the most accurate, fast learning dudes I've ever met. He's one of the fastest in the group to learn a part. He's got a memory, and if he doesn't have a memory for the notes, anytime we have a lyrical question, that dude is a genius.
In any language.
In any language.
Yes.
Look at. Never
Luke's
get
Vanet,
memory
man.
like a trap. KD is the cat.
Mark beat it into me. He beat it into me, bro. But man, seriously, Mark, man, dude, one of the most generous hearts on the planet, bro, and patient, to be able to encourage you in a way. I mean, you're stepping into a position that, I mean, has from the beginning been solidified. And I'll never forget, I bombed in this one concert in Cologne, Germany. And I talked to Mark afterwards, and I was like, I said, I'm just trying to do a good job filling said shoes. And Mark said, don't try to fill said shoes. Bring your own pair. I was like, that's it. And from that point on, I was like, listen, yeah, we in here. So that was cool. Thank you, Mark. I love you, man.
Boy,
I love you too, Mark.
boy got some bolts.
So I heard that you don't know Come On To Me just yet.
Well, he know all the scoop. He got all the scoop.
I can tell you right now, I have no idea.
Christian, let's bust it out.
Bust it out.
Bust that Come On To Me right now. About to just spell
Bust
that.
it out. We do
your part.
worship like before every show. And so most times, like I can't. One of the guys in particular, won't call his name, like just loves singing that song. And every time he does, I'll be like, labor, rest upon.
And what else you'll hear when that happens is you're going to hear Mark singing his part and then jumping down to Christian's
I don't know
part
where he's supposed to be.
with a little bit
Worship.
of irritation. Then
Who's
jump
not
back
singing
up.
this note?
Then everybody starts doing it, and at one point, all 6 of us are singing this one note in his mind. Unto you.
So, Christian, go back to tell them exactly what breakouts are, because you mentioned that in your story.
Man, brilliant idea. I don't know if Mark wants to give me the secret. It wants me to give the secret, but this is how the breakouts were when, and I don't know if we still do it the same way, but on the CD that I had, the 5 other parts were on the right side,
Okay.
and my part was paying hard to the left. So while I'm driving, all the other parts are on the right side, my part is on the left. And so the concept is, as I'm learning more and more, I can start panning to the other side where my part is no longer there on the CD and I'm singing the part with everybody else. So if I ever have a question, I could just flip the pan and go back. Okay. And so you get to the point where it's panned hard to the right and I'm singing with the other voices.
It's like muscle memory at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I always wondered that, like,
Brilliant.
I've seen how you guys record. Like Mark will play like the parts on the keys, and I guess like each part on the key, he'll give to each person or something like that. So I always wondered how you did that. So that's amazing.
I'm still learning, bro. Still learning.
Jay, you have a lot of stories. You know a lot about the group. Do you have a favorite song or 2 or 3 that you're like, these are my jams from Take 6?
Okay, Lullaby from Join the Band. Shall We Gather at the River? And I might have to throw in there either what is that song? Just in Time or A Tiska the Tasket.
Wow, Ella.
Yeah, and I talked to, so I don't know if Benny remembers this, but I talked to him at the Gospel Fest, and he said that Lullaby was about his first son, his firstborn, and so that made me appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, and actually, that song was the fastest tune I've ever written. It was like probably 20 minutes, top to beginning, from top to end. And it was about Channing, and actually, the original version has 2 verses. We never recorded the second verse, but your girl, do you know The Way to San Jose?
Dionne
Warwick wanted to record it. So we didn't go there, but yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So I see that you guys have kind of like snuck in like new versions of Quiet Place. I saw it on somebody's YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, with a different kind of ending at the end.
So we did that for the Texture of a Man tour that we were on with Fred Hammond and all the guys. So we had to shorten it. We did that one, and now that's become kind of our de facto short version.
Got it.
Because it's easier to sing.
So because you guys, okay, this is my last question. Because
it's all good. You're making us think. We haven't sung together for so long. We were having to think about these things.
So because of this whole pandemic and you guys have been off, has this time off given your vocal cords a rest? Have you found yourself singing higher notes, better notes, because you guys haven't been on tour as much?
Great question, man. Great.
Lower and worse.
It's a combination of both, because it's just like being an athlete. You can get back into the season, but you still have to get your conditioning back to be able to do everything that you can do when you're at your best. So for short periods of time, the answer is yes. But for conditioning, for doing a whole show, we'll have to get back together and start doing it again and warm the pipes up, get the season going.
Yeah,
I would say that
later.
That is probably it. That all of us have actually been working a lot since we've been home.
Okay.
Doing a lot of production, studio singing, and doing whatever we can do to keep the money flowing from home.
Exactly.
But there's a whole different ball game that happens when we're on tour, because you have to conserve, and you have to make sure that you can make it to the end of the show or make it to the end of the second show. That's a whole different ball game. So, I think, as far as our voices are concerned, if we were strained, we are probably good and healed right now.
Okay.
But we're not in shape.
Yeah.
Not for
the long distance run, I don't know. We'll have to get back out there and see.
Well, before we wrap things up, for those that are watching on Facebook that weren't here at the beginning or slightly at the beginning when we played the remix, we're gonna play it one more time. That's cool. Here we go.
Beat man. This is the Take Six podcast, baby.
Yep.
Spread love. Spread love. Ooh, boy, love is what we need. Spread love. Spread love. Ooh, boy, love is what we need. Ooh, boy, love is what we need. Spread love. Spread love. Ooh, boy, love is what we need. Spread love. Spread love. Ooh, boy, love is what we need.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So one more
what's up,
time.
y'all.
This is a recapping. Just want everybody to know you can find this episode as well as all the other archived episodes on the Take Six Spread Love podcast. And Jay, where can they find you again?
If you just Google me on DJ, like DJ B Man, you'll find something that'll lead you to me some kind of way. But DJ B Man 81 on YouTube, Jay Browne on Facebook, and DJ B Man everybody everywhere else.
Well, it's been awesome having you, brother.
In the
Yeah.
feed, right quick before we go, DJ, there's a person in here named King Blaze. They said
Yes.
they add this song to the Skaters and Steppers remix of the radio station.
Claude,
So, there you go.
Claude,
There you go.
Thumbs up.
hey, there we go.
Yeah, man.
Thumbs
All
up.
right, all
You're
right,
off and running, baby.
all right. It's going on
Welcome to
SoundCloud.
Hollywood.
Well, thanks for being on here with us, man. We love you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
We love having you. We'll have you back again. And you mentioned that you have a couple others that you've done, right?
Yes.
Oh,
I was going to ask you if you got something coming out.
No, I have to actually record it and put it together. I was just brainstorming.
oh.
Okay. All right. You're looking forward to it, bro.
We're gonna
Okay.
check in with you.
All right.
All
Check in
right.
with us when you got something, bro.
All right.
We'll
will
hit
do.
you in 6 hours.
Yes.
He said it only took him 30 minutes, so
Yeah.
We'll hit you in
Thanks,
30
everybody,
minutes.
for hanging out
Okay.
with us. Take 6 Live here on Facebook. Man, see you later. Take care, Jay.
You too.
Kick
All right,
podcast. Later. All right, cats. Later.